Hello, finally. What a journey to get here this evening, let me tell you. Welcome to my live studio. Thank you for joining me. If you've not seen me before, my name's Toni and I am a studying watercolorist stroke artist, and I love to paint and I love to draw. And I'm hoping you guys at home will get some inspiration from whatever I do this evening or whatever I've done in my videos in the past. If you are watching on YouTube, please subscribe, share, comment. I'd love to know what you all think about what I'm doing, and I'd love to see what your makes are like and what you've been doing at home. I know that a lot of you have been practicing your watercolouring, and we've got a bit of watercolouring in this video. Before I start though, I just wanted to say thank you to every person that tuned into our show on Sunday. It was amazing. We gave so much stock and it sold out in 40 minutes. So thank you so much for supporting me and my family business, and thank you so much for having faith that the products you're going to buy are going to make you a great crafter. So this evening's video is to do a couple of demonstrations on the products that we had in the show on Sunday. I think it's fair to say that we didn't really get much demonstration in, did we? And it's always the same when things start to sell, everybody starts panicking. So I'm going to use these 30-40 minutes to show you some of the hints, tips and techniques that I wanted to show you whilst I was on TV. So if you purchase the stuff, that's amazing, and I think most of you will have got them already, and I've seen some of your makes on our Eureka fan page. They are amazing, by the way. So if you haven't got them, they are available. Okay, so we have a stamp bundle available and the stencil bundle is available as well. So I have codes for you, so if you want to write the codes down, if you are interested, then you can enjoy the video, and then if you want to purchase them at the end of the show, then that's fine. If you've already got them, you can sit back and put your feet up and just enjoy watching it with your coffee, your gin, your tea, whatever you're drinking, and then maybe try something new tomorrow. But please don't forget to comment on Facebook and let me know if you've been playing, what you've been doing, where you're viewing from, things like that. So the stencil bundle, I've written it down. The stencil bundle code for you, so if you go to our website and put in the search engine 446344, so that's the stencil bundle, and the just the right words stamp and die set is 446360. Now they are the bundles, but we have them on there as individuals as well, so if there's just one thing you like, they are available to get on their own as well. So please don't worry, don't think, you know, this is a hard sell. It's not. It's more about the tutorials, but if you do like what you see and you want to try it yourself, then they are available to do that as well. So let's jump straight in and I will show you what we've been up to. So when I was out on my holidays, I did a tutorial for the watercolouring side of things, and a lot of you had done it at home. And excuse me, a lot of you had done it 2, 3, 4 times, and I did actually see the progression and the improvement along the journey, and it's just amazing. I can't believe it. A lot of you said I can't draw, I can't paint. Somebody's telling fibs, because I've seen the artwork. It's amazing. So thank you so much for picking up that brush and having a go. You know, it does take guts, it takes confidence, but like when people start seeing results, everybody's like, I've got to have a go, I've got to have a go. So well done, guys. So my first I'm just going to show you the stamp sets that were on the show. So if you missed the show was on Sunday, last Sunday, and I was on at 2 o'clock. And if you want to watch it again, it is available on Catch Up on Creating Craft. So just go to Catch Up on Creating Craft and you'll be able to see it on there. It's on there for a week. Okay, so it's the 5 stamp sets that we have available. So I'm just going to place them on in front for you. So we have Friend and the beautiful flourish in there and all the add-ons. It's about 110 sentiments in total with your dies as well, so it's good value for money. So you've got Friend, Blessed with the beautiful silhouette stamp in there as well, and then all the add-on elements there. Sending with the beautiful large tulips, and then all the elements. These are huge. Smile, and another beautiful flourish at the bottom and all your add-on elements, and then we have Believe, and this has got some separate roses in there, and I'm going to use this in my first demonstration. But also available in the bundle is your die set as well. I'll just hold it a little bit lower for you so you can see how large they are. I'm just going to show you the die board so you can get a true feel of what it looks like. And here we go, here we have it. So you have friend, send in, smile, blessed and believe, and they are your die cut elements at the top, and on the bottom are your stamped elements within the outer line of your dies. So if you just want the dies, they are available on their own, but if you like them as stamped and outline, you can use them together. Okay, I don't create for the sake, remember that. You can always use my products and items together. So I'm going to jump straight in and we'll crack on with our first demonstration. And if we've got time at the end, I will show you a couple of the design team samples that were missed on the show because of the sellouts. You know, they all got missed really, and it's such a shame because they're beautiful. So if I get a chance at the end, I'll show you a couple of finished samples, and then you will be able to practice or do them at home, because I know a lot of you have already bought these. So I'll just pop those to one side. And we'll start off with the leaf stamp set. So I'm just going to get my Eureka. So unfortunately the large Eureka is out of stock at the moment. However, you can do 60-70% of your stamping and things like that on your small one. So if you've got a small one at home, it's probably the one that you're going to pick up first anyway. So I'm just going to get some card. I'm just going to show you how amazing this stamp set is. So we're going to use the Believe. So this is the one that I'm going to use on there. Can you see that? I'll just pop this piece of card behind. And I'm going to use these floral elements in here. And I'm going to show you how to create a 3D card and decoupage it up so it's got some great dimension. So I'm just going to place the stamps face down on the scrap piece of card. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 rose heads in here, and they all are variation in size, and we'll pop the leaves as well. Now, because I'm going to be doing some alcohol marker colouring, I'm going to use a Copic Watercolouring Safe ink pad. So I'm going to be using my Memento. Now this is alcohol safe, so when I come to colour, it won't bleed. However, all I will say to you is if you've stamped this and you're colouring and you do get a bleed, it's because it's not dry. That is the only reason. Okay, so this is the one that I use. So I'm just going to pop this in shot. There we go. So I'm just going to close the door. I'm just going to pick up the stamps. I'm just going to ink it up. So these are really detailed, so might have to stamp them twice, but it's okay, we can do that because we've got our fabulous Eureka. I'm so sorry for the delay, we had a few hiccups along the way. We do appreciate your patience. This is all brand new to us, so you know, we are learning as well, so thank you everybody. So there, we've done it once. I'm just going to do it again. There's one thing for sure, we can only get better, can't we? So there we have it. So you can see there's detail in there with the lines and things like that. So I'm just going to show you the pens that I used to create this lovely flower. Now, if you've got alcohol markers at home and you love them, that's brilliant. These are my preferred choice. So these are my Copic markers, and I have YG63, YG03, Y02 and R02. Now these work really, really well together, particularly these two for leaves. So if you're struggling to colour match, these two are a great go-to. So I'm just going to colour one and show you how I get a bit of light and shade on these. So I'm just going to use YG03. Now this has got a yellow undertone, so it's quite lime greeny, which is amazing. So we'll just colour this one. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to colour the whole area in green. And this one. And then we'll use a darker one, just where the top of the flower would create a bit of a shadow. Now, you're probably looking at that and thinking, I can see a harsh line in there, and I can too. But remember, it's an alcohol marker and it needs to evaporate, so it will dry lighter. Always remember that. But if you want to, you can go back in with the same colour and just blend it out a little bit more. And already you get rid of that harsh line, as you can see there. So for the flower, I'm using yellow, and all I'm going to do is, for speed, is I'm just going to lightly cover the whole of the flower in yellow. And then where there would naturally be some dark parts, I'm just going to pop this orange in. And then just to blend it out a little bit, I'm just going to go over it again. This is not difficult. It's just a case of obviously having the confidence to pick it up and have a go. So there we have that. So what I did before I went to air was I did that process over the course of all of the stamped images, and then I fussy cut them out. So let's just get rid of these stamps off here and move on to the next stage. So make sure you always return your stamps to the carrier sheet. Look after them, you know. They will last a lifetime as long as you look after them. Right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to create quite a fancy card, something probably you've not seen before. And I can't take the idea as my own. I actually saw a lady doing it on YouTube, so it's her inspiration, but for some reason I can't remember her name. But it's not my idea, but I think you'll love it, and I think a lot of you will be trying it. So ahead of time, like I said, I have my pre-coloured and cut elements. So I'm just going to move those to one side. So actually, I'll move them in shot so you can see them. I'll just move them to this side. So I did a few. It's up to you how many you want to do, but it's a beautiful stamp. And then we'll just move this out of the way. So I'm just going to get my topper element of the card. What I'm going to do, place it in my Eureka. And we're going to use the large Believe in here. Now I'm just going to do this in black. Okay, so I'm going to place this face down, probably here. And then let's do one of the elements on there as well. And you can, believe in you can achieve anything, so let's go for that one. And when you're happy it's in place, oh, she says, move all your little parts, sorry. So for this one then, because I'm not going to be Copic colouring with this one, I'm just going to use my VersaFine. I'm going to stamp this one out. So just stamp it one more time. Stamp it one more time. So it was our first show last week of our brand new products. Just a little update for you then. I am back on this Sunday for 3 live hours. Now whether the stock lasts 3 live hours, I have no idea. Fingers crossed it does. Can't possibly sell it all. Can't possibly. So if it's something you love, please get it quickly. I would hate for anybody to miss out. That's the problem. When I put stock forward, I obviously want everybody to get it. So don't miss out. If you love it, get it. And then let me see your makes. You know how much I love to see all your makes. Right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to do something a little bit different, she says. So I'm just going to move this to one side. Like that. I'll put it in shot so you can see. I'm just going to get a bit of scrap card on here. Just hold this in place. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this word that I've just stamped to go through the decoupage flower side of things, she says, fingers crossed. So what we're going to do is I'm going to get the large flower that I've stamped and I'm just going to position it somewhere around here, like so. Can you see that there? So I know that I've got to get this onto this flower, and I can see by eye how it's going to roughly look. Okay, so I'm going to pop it in here, and then I'm going to move that out of the way. When you're doing this, you just need to remember by eye where you put the flower, so I know roughly that this element of believe is going to be on here. Does that make sense? So I'm just going to move it out of the way. And I'm just going to put the I, V and E on there like so. Let me just make sure that's going to be right. Yeah, it is. I don't want to mess up on live TV. Like so. Don't try and stamp all these elements at once, it doesn't work. I tried it before I came to wear, it just looks horrid. So there you can see there. So then when you come to stamp it on there, I'm just going to actually hold that in place with my magnet a little bit. That blooming die. Sticking to my ink pad for some reason. So, just going to ink up the latter end of the word. So you can see there, so I'm just going to do it again. So then what happens then is be careful when you're picking it up, it will be wet and you would not want a horrid, ugly finger mark. So if you look here, can you see now how it matches up like that? Okay, so what I always do then is I pop that down like that, I pop my little piece of artwork on there like that, and then I get my next element, which I'm going to 3D. And we will probably pop this one in here. So I know that I need to get the curl of the bee on there. So I'm going to pop that on there, hold it in place, just give this a wipe. Like so. So I'm just going to do it one more time so it's super, super dark. Be careful when you pick it up. So then you can see now, this will 3D on top of there. So you'll get like, and when I put a pad underneath, it'll give it another lift. So what we'll do is we'll get another one on there. So that's that one. So you just, sorry, I'm doing out of shot there so you can't see. So then when you get your next one, you just need to decide where you're going to 3D your next one. So we need a little bit of the E and V on there. And don't worry if you don't stamp it in the right place on the actual element, because when you come to 3D it on your part, it might be in a slightly different place, but you know, it's not the end of the world. So let's just see. So I need the V and the E on this one. Did I say a little bit of the V and E? Top of the V maybe, shall we go for that one? Yep, top of the V. So I'll just get the V. And just do it, I always do it twice and it's really, really crisp then. You see there? So that one would sit there, so you're getting the word coming together. You won't see it until I put the pad underneath, but you'll soon see how it all comes together, sort of soon. So let's do another one. So, sorry, I'm doing it out of shot, sorry. I keep doing it as well, don't I? So now we could do, it's just about building a bouquet really. So we've got that one there. Got this going on here. So you can see it's coming together, and then when I put a pad underneath, it will obviously sit straight because I'll make sure I stick it down straight. And then you could actually just stick that one under there with nothing on there, or under here. And then you've got all the elements that are in the set as well, which are all these elements which I've freehand, so we'll stick those in as well. So let's go ahead and construct. Right, so when I did the first stamp of Believe, can you see here? I didn't, when I put it in place like so, can you see there? I forgot to stamp the second part here, can you see this? So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to improvise and pop it in place, so I'm going to stick it in place like so. This is a great thing about the Eureka. If you do anything like that, you can always go back and rectify it. So keep your stamps clean. And then I'm just going to pop this one on here. And I can see straight away, sorry, is my head in shot? Sorry. So I've popped the stamp face down. So I do have to look over, unfortunately, so please bear with me. So I'm just lining it up there. And it's back in place in there. I'm not overly worried about it, but to prevent any double stamping, I'll just make sure I ink up the area where I know it's going to go onto my flower. So let's just do the words that are going to be on my flower. So that's too much, so I need a bit of the N and less of the other side. So that's fine. So anything up to the A we're going to take off. So if you have a stamping aid at home, maybe a Tim Holtz one or whatever you have, and it works for you, then stick with it. But these are the, you know, if you haven't got a stamping aid, these sorts of things are easily sorted, you know, if you do have the facility to do repeat stamp. So I'm just going to ink that up again and make it darker so you can see. So we notice the N up to the A. Phew. So just move that one out of the way. So let's get this card constructed and you'll see how amazing it looks. This truly is worth your patience, and if you struggle with it to start with, you know, it's a bit of card, it's a bit of paper, stick with it because it gives you the most amazing looking card, and people are going to look at it and think, how on earth have you done that? That's really cheeky, but it looks amazing. So I've got a top folding note card. Let's just move some of our, I've got a top folding note card here, and I'm just going to put some tape behind this corrugated card. It's just to give my card a little bit of depth because I didn't want it to all be white. I'm just going to secure this down. When you are making your cards at home, you know, make sure you take care and you maybe use tape and glue. When I'm making my own samples, I do use tape and glue because the tape does actually dry out in the long run. So if you use tape and glue, then the handmade cards that you make will last a lot longer. If you are enjoying what I'm showing you, I hope you're commenting. Unfortunately, due to the hiccups we have no facility to see if anybody is commenting, or even if anybody's watching, fingers crossed they are. So let us know what you think of what I'm showing you. So I'm going to stick that flat like so. Then I'm going to do the same with this one. Being mindful that the black underneath might still be a little bit wet. So if you haven't seen our Eureka fan page and you're watching for the first time, then please just type in Eureka fan page into Facebook and you will be completely blown away by everybody's makes and their inspiration, sharing with each other. It's a fantastic group. Pop on, ask to join the group. You'll not look back, it truly is amazing. I'm just going to stick this in place. So you can see it's coming together now. So what we need to do is we need to remember how we did these. I don't think it really matters if I'm completely honest. So we'll just bring our word elements into it. So let's get a big pad behind this big one. I'm going to double pad this one, I think. Shall we double pad? Yeah, we'll double pad. So to create a bit of dimension, I'm going to do some different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get 2 pads and I'm going to stick them together, and so I get like an even higher flower than I would normally. Now you know me, I don't like dimension on cards, but this truly is amazing. So I'm just going to stick that in there, and then all I'm going to do is I'm going to lay it on my card till I'm happy. And I'm happy it's in place, and I'm going to stick it down like so. You can see how amazing does that look? That just looks amazing in my opinion. I hope you feel the same at home. So, and we've got this EVE on here. Can you see here? This is going to go on here. So in place, obviously. So we'll just put 1 pad underneath this one. Oops. In fact, I'm just going to cut this pad down because it's a little bit big. So put it on top, and when you're happy you've got it in place. Sorry, I'm going to have to. I don't want to mess it up. So, sorry, I'm going to have to lean over. I want it to be absolutely straight. There we go. Can you see? So this is dimension to a whole new level on here. So just make sure that's stuck down. That's right. And then we'll get this one and we'll just pop 1 pad underneath here. And this was the top of the L and the top of the B. Make sure it's straight. Make sure you match them up. Oh, there we go. I think that's about right, do you? There we go. So it's coming together beautifully. So I'm just going to get the other elements that I've got no writing on. Now you could stick these flat if you wanted to, but I am going to go ahead and stick some pads behind because it just looks really, really lovely. Now it's entirely up to you how you arrange, so you could create a beautiful bouquet if you wanted to. So So obviously when you're putting these in, you cannot cover any of the words because you would hide the message that you've created in there. Does that look okay? Shall we go with that one? And then these ones you can then pop in and amongst. Can you see that there? So you get great dimension. You can pop them wherever you wanted to. You can stick them flat up and above. So what we'll do is we'll stick a few of them flat. If you had any like stencil backgrounds or anything you could, and you don't like the white space, you could put white space in there, or you could get your fine liner pen and do a stitch detail round. There we have it. So you could do some gems, sparkly gems, anything you wanted, but it's the technique I wanted to show you. So it's completely 3D'd, it looks amazing. Oh, I'll just lay it flat for you. Can you see there the dimension? And you still get the beautiful words and effects on there. Do you like it? I do, I love it. So you could try this. If you don't own this stamp set and don't want to buy that stamp set, please do not feel pressurised into getting anything of my products. All the tutorials you could use with anybody else's products in your stash. It's a case of digging them out, having a play and see what effects you can achieve. But that was one of the reasons why I created this stamp set, because of the build side of it. So you could build it up as a big bouquet, or you could keep it so simple and have just something flat on your cards and things like that. So I will post pictures of these on my Facebook page after the show so you can see it in its true form, and I will do some side shots and above shots, so please give it a go if you've enjoyed it. So that's demonstration number 1. Let's move on to number 2. So just move that one out of the way. So this time we're going to do some watercolouring, and we're going to use some of our brand new stencils. But before I go ahead, if you liked that stamp set and you're wanting to buy it, the item number for that one is 446344. The bundles are on there and the stencils are on there. Just pop it into the search engine and see if you like what you see. So next demonstration, just have a quick tidy up. So I'll just get my next card. So I have some white cardstock here, and I'm going to just use one of our brand new stencils that we launched last week, and I am going to use this one. So as you can see, it's a mess. I've used it loads. I absolutely love it. So we're going to just use this one. And rather than stencil through, we're going to watercolour through. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to do one, let's do one creeping off the top, like so. I am not going to pin it down because I like the look of a true watercolour image. So I've got some paints here today. Some of you have probably seen my paints. They're my Winsor & Newton paints, professional paints. So, but you can use your re-inkers to achieve the same effect. I just wanted to use something a little bit different. And if you're wanting to use something a little bit different in your stash at home and you have some paints, why not give this one an actual try, because you're going to get some amazing results. So I've got a brush here as well. I'm going to use a size 12 brush on this one. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to paint within the stencil. I'm just going to let the stencil be a guide. So I'm just going to get some water. And then I'm just going to pick up some colour, like so. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the stencil in place, and I'm just going to paint within the stencil. Now if it goes under the stencil, it doesn't matter. Now I'm just using normal white cardstock, nothing posh, nothing fancy. I've used something that I know all of you will have in your stash at home. So I'll add a bit of darker. So that's one. So if you are really wanting to play, should we say, this is a really lovely way to start. So that's that one. So let's get a different one. Like so. So I've done my 2 flower heads. So you could spend lots of time adding detail, colour, light and shade. But obviously I'm live on TV and need to show as much as I can. So I'm just going to grab some green. And what this will do is it will go under the stencil, the colour, it will go, the water will carry the colour underneath the stencil, but it really looks watercoloured then. So normally we would sponge through or dauber through, but this time we're going to paint through. You'll see the different effect you get by just using the stencil as a guide. And as you can see, I'm not being too careful either, because I really do want it to go under to get that watercolour look. You could do this all in one colour, it would look amazing as well. So when you take your stencil off, what you will see is this sort of look. Can you see that? So that really does look watercoloured. Now what you need to do is you need to blast it off with your gun, and then we're going to add some detail with our pen, okay? But I want to really do another stencil part down here, so I am going to pick up the stencil again and I'm just going to add. Let me just clean it first before we end up with an ugly painting, because I really want it to stay lovely. So I'm just going to clean the stencil. And when you've used your paints through your stencil, don't forget to do both sides, or else you'll end up with an awful mark on your card. Let me just see if I can. So a bit of a technique for you here. Dry your brush, take all the water out and push that green back. Take it out. If you've got like a bleed and you don't like it, take it out. So I know you've all been loving your watercolouring. So it's just another technique, another idea for you to get some great looking looks. So I'm just going to get these 2 flowers in here as well. So this time I'm just going to do, we'll do an orange. This is going to look like colourful wallpaper by the time we've finished. We'll get some red on this. No, we won't. Let's just another pink one. And then we'll just add some leaves in there again. There we go. So I'm just going to pop that to one side, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dry this off with my heat gun. This is going to make a beautiful background. So get your heat gun really hot. And then when you're happy, it's really hot, because we don't want this awful ugly wave in the card. Now, I've told you before on past past videos that it is better to let it air dry. You do get a truer colour of what it's going to be like, but for speed, and like everything else, life is a rush. I'm just going to dry it off with the gun so you can get to the end of this tutorial. So I would just like, while this is drying, I would just like to thank everybody who has commented on the posts I've been putting on. So I've been doing a thought of the day, and I've been popping it on Facebook, and the comments from people have been absolutely wonderful. You've truly embraced what I've put forward in every fashion, and it just shows that we can all connect with each other in so many ways, but in so many different ways at the same time, you know. So thank you so much for, you know, going on there and having a look and reading it and even sharing it. We all know, we all have friends who have troublesome times, or you know, not necessarily sad or low or anything like that, but just, you know, a pick me up is a great start to a day. It gives you a positive attitude for the rest of the day as well. So thank you so much, and stand by, because like I said, I will be doing it for a week, and there's lots more to come, so I hope you've liked them anyway. So that's dry. I'm happy with that one, she says, and then I end up with an awful print on there. So what we're going to do this time is I'm going to get I've got here a Secura copper pen. Okay, so I'm just going to put some outline on this. It's not a fine nib, it's more of a bullet. Okay, so I'm just going to add some detail, but I'm only going to add some detail on the leaves. Okay, so I'm just going to give it a shake, get some scrap paper. You see that there? I don't think the camera might not pick the shine up, but you'll get the idea. So let's just add some detail on this leaves. So for you, the guys at home who are watching it for the first time and don't know how to add detail, it is really, really easy. All you have to do is start at a point and look at where you're going. You don't have to follow the lines. Watercolouring is naturally loose. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, like so. You see that? That's really sparkly. So I'm just going to do this little one here. So you can already see your artwork coming to life there. And as you can see, I'm not following the paint. I don't want it to be precise. If you try and be precise, it won't work. Okay, so please don't try and make it precise. So I'm just going to go up to this big one up here, so I know that that's a big leaf there. So these look fabulous in your golds, your silvers, your pens. You know, don't just, I know I always use white, and I'm telling you to do something that I don't always necessarily do myself, but these lend themselves so well to metallic pens, metallic paints. I'm not going to do the flowers because I don't think the flowers are going to be needed. Like so. Have we got enough detail in there? I think we'll leave as is on that one. So let's move on to the next stage. So what I've done is I've got my large friend die from the words. Now this is beautiful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to die cut the word friend out of the centre of my image, and this is going to create what's called the hidden message. Now I also know that a lot of you have been doing this one of late. We did this about 12 months ago with our design team, and Karen's brought it back to life, bless her, and everybody's been doing it. So, and I know that a few people who watched it on Create and Craft said, how is that done? So this is how it is done, okay, and I hope it really, really helps. So let's just get my die cutting machine. So I'm just going to pop my artwork into my die cutting machine, like so. So you could put it's wherever you want to put your hidden message. You could just do it across the bottom, through the centre. I think we'll go through, what do you think? I think we'll go through the top. We'll just go for it. And then we'll just pop this in. Make sure it's straight. Like so, I'm just going to run it through my machine. Before I went to wear, I cut 3 word friends in white and I stacked them together on top of each other. So I've created like a 3D element, if that makes sense. It's quite thick. And then what I'm going to do is we're going to glue the bit that I die cut out of this piece of cardstock on top, if that makes sense. Any sense at all? So let's just have a look. Has it cut through my machine? No. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it around. I'm going to run it through again. I don't want to ruin my artwork now that I've spent time doing it. So I'm just going to pop it back in place. There we go. I'm just going to run it through again. So this is the new snap machine. And actually I found it quite good, to be honest with you. Sometimes, I think as with all die cutting machines, 2 and 3 passes is required. But the results are amazing, aren't they, at the end of the day? So we do stick with them. So if this is not cut, I'll just twist it round and try it from the other end. Has anybody else got a snap machine? What's their thoughts on it? Because I find it okay. So I am going to just twist it. Oh, is it cut? Looks like it's cut, we'll see. I'm going to run it through again just to be safe. So... So I'm just going to pop my artwork on again. I'm just going to do it one more time. And if you're not au fait with lining your dies back up, how I do it is, that's probably how everybody does it, is pop it on the cardstock and rub it around and you'll find it sits back in. You can't move that now. I know it's back in, it's cut in place, so I know, you know, that's going to cut in exactly the same place. So we'll try again. Fingers crossed. Right, has it done it? Yeah, it's done it this time, thank goodness. So, to get the look of the hidden message, you cut the top one out of your artwork that you've just painted or drawn or coloured. Be careful with it, it is delicate, I don't want to ruin my artwork. There we go. You can see there now how beautiful that is. So the bit elements are missing out of there are on this piece. Okay, so all you have to do then is, let's just move this one out of the way. Hopefully we are able to pop out these bits in here. Sorry, my head's in the way again. There we go. Is that going to be, yeah, I'm going to leave that because it's not exactly cut, which is fine, we can sort it later. So what I do is I get my friend and I pop glue with the precision tip of your glue or a fine tipped glue, and I put the glue onto the 3D embellishment I've already made. So I cut cardstock about, I think I did it 3 times, and I think this is 250 GSM. And just dotting glue all the way around. I'm not even squeezing the tube because squeeze it might come out a little fast. And then you get your original and you just lay it on top. Like so. See that? So then you end up with like a 3D embellishment. So let's get our Eureka out and finish this card. So we need to get our friend stamp set. And what we will do is we'll pick one of the add-ons from the sentiment set. I couldn't wish for a better friend. How amazing is that? I'm just going to stick it underneath. Make sure it's as straight as I can get it. Sorry for the head again. Take this one off. Make sure it's straight it is. It up again. That one better? Yep, that's fine. So let's get the card constructed and you'll see how it will come together. So I've got some black piece of card here to go onto a white top folding note card. So while I'm just doing the monotonous side of this card, which is the matte and layering, please don't forget to tune in on Sunday on Create and Craft. It's quite a big event for us. We've got 3 live hours and it's brand new stuff. Okay, so tomorrow I'm doing a Facebook Live with a sneak peek. So that will be at 7 o'clock also. Okay, so if you are wanting to know what is on the show this Sunday for 3 live hours, you need to tune into my Facebook page tomorrow at 7 because I'm going to show you. And fingers crossed, you will love it. So I'm just going to matte and layer this onto here. I know my design team are super excited about what's to come on Sunday, so I'm sure it's going to blow your socks off, everybody. I've worked really hard, as you all know, and the collection is absolutely amazing. So I'm just matte and layering this piece where I cut the friend out of. But what you need to do as well is when you come to stick it onto your card, you need to make sure all the elements around the word friend stick as well, or else you won't get the 3D effect, if that makes any sense at all. Because if it's slightly raised from the page, you lose your depth on your element on this part of things. So, you know, try and get it all stuck down best you can. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get my precision tip and I'm just going to add a bit of glue around. Just for that reassurance that it's not going to look tatty, if that makes sense. And then I'm going to stick this on the card. Make sure my card's the right way up. Just put an acrylic block over that part of it so it actually sticks down. And while that's sticking down, we will put some glue behind this one. And again, it's always good if you have got a glue with a precision tip. This is our Perfect Together. This is amazing. This is available on Create and Craft as well. But if you've got something at home, try and use something that's quite precise on the end, because if you don't and you use your big open-ended glues, you end up with a lot of spillage. And I know most glues say they dry clear, most glues don't. So you wouldn't want to ruin your artwork. You know, I'm under slight pressure when I'm on TV to get things done quite quickly, rapidly, but when you're at home, you can just, take your time. There is absolutely no rush. Take your time, enjoy it. And then all you do is you get your element, like your 3D, out of the original. Just put that bit of block on there, and you slot it back in place. So I'm going to have to lean forward, so my apologies. I hope you can see this. And this is how, I can see straight away now, that you get the wonderful hidden message in there. So people are like, how on earth have you done that? And then these parts here, that dropped out of here, you're going to pop back in place, so it is actually hidden. So just get the glue. Push it back in place. A little bit. See there, right? This is where I have lost a third part, which is typical, isn't it? Oh, is it still in my, oh, it's still in my machine. Oh, yeah, it is. Phew. And then just pop this one in. Like so, and they have the fabulous hidden message card. Now I'll try and tilt it on its side so you can see the dimension. Sorry. See the dimension there? How amazing is that? Look at that. So again, you know, dimension with little to no effort. So what can I say? 2 demonstrations. We are out of time, unfortunately. I'm so sorry we were late. We do our best to be on time. We are learning, and we will do our best to make sure the videos that we keep bringing to you are on time and are fabulous. And if nothing else, you will get some great inspiration out of whatever I've shown you all today. If you're watching us for the first time, please like and share. It would be amazing. And don't forget to leave me a comment. I love feedback. I love comments. And don't forget my sneak peek on Facebook tomorrow at 7. However, before that, I think the DT might be doing a sneak peek first thing in the morning. So watch this space, and I will see you all Sunday for 3 live hours. Take care, everyone. Bye.